Today's news. Today's news.
Israel delays Gaza deal.
Accused Hamas of trying to extort last-minute concessions.
Biden's White House farewell.
Thank you for disagreeing on it.
Push to contain L.A. fires.
Santa Ana winds could come back.
Good morning. I'm Steve Kaysen. With the CBS World News Roundup, last-minute hang-ups have slowed Israel's action on a Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deal. Prime Minister Netanyahu accuses Hamas of reneging on some parts of it. Reaching the agreement took months, and CBS's Rami Inocencio in Tel Aviv tells us how the agreement will work if it's formally implemented.
There are three phases. Phase one would potentially start this Sunday, and we could see the release of 3, perhaps 4 female hostages. Now, it's unclear what this holdup we're talking about this morning might do, might influence, might impact that dateline, that timeline. But from what we understand, the first hostages could be released this Sunday. In exchange, Palestinian detainees, essentially by the dozens per each hostage, would then be released. Israel's military would move from population centers in the central part of the Gaza Strip towards the perimeters, and then potentially aid would be surged into Gaza.
CBS's Ed O'Keefe reports President Biden hailed the Gaza agreement during a farewell address last night from the Oval Office. President Biden's goodbye came with a grave warning.
An oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence. It really threatens our entire democracy.
That warning comes as President-elect Trump is preparing to give Elon Musk, richest man in the world, power to slash the federal bureaucracy. And as Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, and Apple CEO Tim Cook are set to join Musk at Trump's inauguration.
We've seen it before. More than a century ago, the American people stood up to the robber barons back then and busted the trust. They didn't punish the wealthy. This made the wealthy play by the rules everybody else had to.
Now to Southern California, where the two biggest fires in the L.A. area have now burned nearly 40,000 acres. CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti reports winds have died down some, and he spoke with L.A. City Fire Chief Kristen Crowley about criticism over the initial fire response.
We didn't see anybody there for those first 4 hours. That literally went up in flames. There weren't any from our vantage point, and I'm just doing my due diligence.
Right. I can guarantee you that every resource that was available was working and focused on the mission. Guarantee you.
Does not sense the area of interface.
They were working, they were saving lives, and secondarily saving property.
Both Chief Crowley and L.A. County Fire Chief Anthony Maroney see the extreme Santa Ana winds overwhelm them.
What do you say to victims who have lost everything, contemplating rebuilding, who now feel like they're not going to be safe?
Home hardening, accessible space, and managing our wildland ecosystem. If we could do those 3 things, we could really help protect residents.
He questions posed at the confirmation hearing for one of President-elect Trump's top cabinet jobs. CBS's Scott McFarland.
Pam Bondi, Trump's choice for Attorney General, made her case on Capitol Hill Wednesday.
I will fight every day to restore confidence and integrity to the Department of Justice.
Bondi, who defended Trump at his first impeachment trial and helped Trump's failed efforts to overturn the 2020 election results, was pressed repeatedly over whether she'd maintain independence from the incoming president. The Democrats grilled Bondi on those baseless claims of election fraud.
You have the gravitas, the stature, the intestinal fortitude to say, Donald Trump, you lost the 2020 election. Can you tell us that here today?
Meanwhile, Florida Senator Marco Rubio answered questions from his own colleagues about his nomination to be Trump's Secretary of State, speaking on a range of issues, including Ukraine.
Our goal, as President Trump has stated, is he wants the dying to stop. He wants the killing to stop.
And gaining praise from both Republicans and Democrats.
House Speaker Mike Johnson is removing the Republican chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. Ohio's Mike Turner has found himself at odds with President-elect Trump on some issues. CBS's Margaret Brennan.
He told me Speaker Johnson called him into his office and said, "You're fired. There are concerns from Mar-a-Lago." In other words, Donald Trump, the president-elect, told Mike Johnson to fire the man overseeing the intelligence community who has access to some of the nation's greatest secrets.
The government says retail sales rose modestly last month amid solid holiday shopping. And the Vatican says Pope Francis fell and hurt his right arm. It's the second time in a month he suffered injuries